Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give a day 6 and day 7 update for the 30-day challenge. I'm losing track of the days. I really need to just like write the days down as I do this. Otherwise, I'll start forgetting them. I'm actually at work right now, just driving around, dropping off a couple packages. But, okay, day 6. Day 6 was actually Monday the 31st, which is Halloween. And that was the day I was coming back home from Georgia. So really, the new thing there, and then of course the 30-day challenge is to try something new every day. What I experienced on Monday, I'm trying to like focus on driving too. What I experienced on Monday was driving a whole 10 hours, almost virtually nonstop. There were stops, of course. We had to get gas. I mean, we can't just not get gas, but I went from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, all the way down to Dunwoody, Georgia, which is about 10 hours. It's about 9.5, actually. If you didn't have to stop and get gas, the trip would be 9.5 hours. But with gas stops, and if you ever get hungry, if you didn't pack anything to eat, it would take you about 10 hours. But man, it was such a wonderful trip. And it's so crazy because for years it's like I dread driving that kind of a distance. But in all reality, I had no idea what driving that distance felt like. I only knew what it felt like being a passenger on that kind of a trip. So that was cool. I would say the most eye-opening part of that trip for me, was driving through the mountains of West Virginia. Just like Virginia and West Virginia. Just really gave me perspective on places outside of where I live. And this is just within my own country. And I had an epiphany when I was driving. I mean, it's midday, probably around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. No music, no radio, no audiobooks, nothing at this time. Wasn't listening to any podcasts or anything. But Mark was with me. My cousin Mark, he was next to me in the passenger seat. He was sleeping a lot of the trip. And it was just a nice, quiet drive, very moderate weather. And I just sat there and just was left to my own thoughts. And it left me to believe just how easy it is to just get up and go do something like that if I really wanted to. I realize a lot of the times I'm just making a lot of excuses as to, why I'm not moving. And, or not, why I'm not getting up and going, where I want to go. And now I realize with $60 and 3 days, in a day off or two, probably, preferably 2, you can just get up and drive wherever you want, really. And, I can go to Virginia, and I'm looking into cabins in West Virginia. I want to go out to West Virginia. I want to go in the mountains. I want to spend a day or two out in the mountains of West Virginia. There's also, there are a few places on the east side of the U.S. that I would love to visit. There's Montana. I have a friend, an old coworker I used to work with, Laker. She showed me pictures of just the mountains of Montana, and I just fell in love. That's one place I really want to go. Here, one of many in the U.S. I would love to go visit Arizona. We're talking about driving out to Vegas. We're talking about making a freaking pilgrimage out to California because all of it, it's just so easy to do. And so yeah, that was my eye-opening experience right there. And now I realize with 10 hours and a couple bucks, or just a weekend off, you can go just about anywhere. So that's where I'm going there. Secondly, was day 7. Day 7 was, it's not as nearly as grand as, traveling cross country, but day 7 I attempted to take my PC, at least all the components of my PC, from one tower to another, and I actually posted videos on Facebook of this. And it didn't work. It didn't work. I got finished up, and I went to go power on, and I didn't get anything. So what I'm going to end up doing is actually taking that to a PC repair place. It's not broken. It's just I didn't put the right cords into the right components on my motherboard. I just need to figure out exactly where, the components of my power supply needs to go, where to plug in all my fans. I'm not very good at that. I've only done that once, and that was about 6 years ago. Maybe about 3 years ago, I put in another motherboard, which is virtually the same thing, but I didn't have to move as much stuff. So yeah, I'm going to get it taken to a PC repair place, get them to look at it, just put everything where it needs to be. That way I can kind of take a snapshot of that, so I know what I have to do next time. And that's pretty much my day 6 and my day 7 experience there. We were supposed to do a wrap-up, or not a wrap-up, but a kind of a check-in. We're going to check in with each other. Yesterday we didn't do that. Hopefully we get a chance to do that today. Everyone, me, my family, my sister, my mom, my brother, and my niece, we can sit down and talk to each other and kind of see how we're doing. And so yeah, there's that. That's my 30-day challenge so far. I'm on day 8. And I actually haven't decided what I want to do today. I did, but I haven't really concluded. The weather is kind of iffy, but I'm probably going to take the dogs to another park. Parks are kind of turning into I'm not sure what I want to do, so I'm going to do that kind of thing. But I do have plans for things that I do want to do. I'm planning, I'll just kind of throw that out there for myself, because ultimately this is what this video is for. I want to dabble into piano. I want to at least be able to play a song, basic. Be Mary Had a Little Lamb for all I care, but I just want to get on a piano and learn something. A keyboard, rather. I want to be able to mix a track on FL Studios. These are just like a small handful of things that I know I want to do in this 30 days. There's mixing a track in FL. There is... I want to travel again, but actually this is on November 17th. I'm going to a concert by myself. It'll be the first time I've done that of my own accord. I planned it, and I'm going to go there. Steven Wilson, if you have not heard of him, I would look him up. It's if you're the type who's musically curious and is open to exploring things that you've never heard before musically, check out Steven Wilson. He is a UK artist. An artist doesn't even begin to describe what he does. He's most known for his work in a band called Porcupine Tree, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. He has his own solo projects that he works on. Steve Wilson, Black Mill. He's even worked with Opeth. He's all over the place. And the best thing anyone watching this, if anyone does watch this, if I decide to post this, the best thing you can do is just look up his work. And if you were to go somewhere, let's see, if I were to pick somewhere for you to go, something that isn't too mind-wrenching as far as the material in it, you could go to, what was his album? I remember the art. I can picture it vividly. It's like a picture of somebody's face, and then it's like paint is flowing in the back, off the back of their head. I'm trying to think of a song. Wow. It's not Ancestral. Ancestral is definitely way out there, and that's not one I really recommend. Is if you're like a first time listener, look up Lazarus. Stephen Wilson, Lazarus. There's Lazarus. There's Drive Home. There is Happy Returns. There is 3 Years Older. All songs you can look up that are kind of to just, get your feet wet with stuff that he does. Waiting. That's a blackmail song, Waiting, but he had a big part in producing that. And that's that. So, yeah. So I have plans on other stuff that I want to do this month. Definitely to segue back into the traveling, I plan on going and traveling to somewhere. It could be the same spot, it could be somewhere different, but doing that once a month, because it's not hard to do, and just the opportunity to expand my view of the world and kind of see new things, absolutely worth it. So there we go, 30-day challenge. That's the kind of that's where I'm sitting with that.